What's up? This is Metal Nate, and I'm here with Jesse from Times of Grace. Jesse, how are you doing today?
I'm doing all right, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm really stoked on this album. I actually have had it cranking for the last couple hours. The last week or two since Roadrunner sent it. It's incredible.
All right. Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
And how has it been for, working with Adam again?
It's a total pleasure. He's such a great guy, and he's just immensely talented. It's always a great experience, man. I mean, he's inspiring for me as a musician, and he just happens to get some of the best vocals I've ever done in my career out of me on this record. I couldn't be happier working with him again.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it came out really well. How long were you discussing doing this album?
The discussion started about 4 years ago, actually, after he was recovering from some back surgery in London. He was on tour with Killswitch, and he just really screwed up his back and had to have some surgery. So while he was recovering in his hospital bed with the help of a dictaphone, he composed most of this record in his head, and would sort of hum the riffs into the dictaphone, and lo and behold, he had a whole record when he got out of the hospital and started to demo it, and that's when I got a phone call, and he said, "Hey, man, it's some small talk." He said, "Hey, listen, I just finished demoing a record, and I couldn't think of anyone else to sing on it but you." And of course, I was just completely floored and excited, and the journey began about 4 years ago now.
That's incredible. I was going to say, did you get to hear the dictaphone recordings at all?
No, I didn't even think to ask, man. I'm sure it would have been pretty amazing.
I can't even think of someone writing on a dictaphone. That's incredible. It's great.
No, he's an incredible dude.
But the new album, The Hymn of a Broken Man, that drops on Tuesday, and it's been getting fantastic reviews. I've yet to see, the only things I've seen people saying are, they say, hey, it sounds like Killswitch Engage, but that's okay because he started Killswitch Engage, and it sounds better than their latest album or something. That's one that I read. So, I'm not asking you to take shots at Killswitch Engage. I love that band too. But were you expecting this type of response to the record?
Honestly, man, to be totally honest with you, I wasn't expecting much of anything. I think expectations are dangerous. I hoped that people would like it, and I definitely hope that, it would be enough of a success for me to actually, be able to live off it and be an artist for a little while. But, yeah, man, it's been overwhelming, honestly. And I do the best I can to not read reviews because, I'm one of those people, what I do, I care very deeply about. So I tend to stay away. But, yeah, from what I have seen, it's pretty overwhelming what people are saying about it.
I mean, they've ranged from fantastic, from just plain fantastic to this is going to change metal and like heavy music. Oh,
wow.
I mean, Heavy said that in his interview, but Matt Heavy said that. But so several other reviewers, like big review sites, Kerrang and Metal Hammer, have all been saying the same sorts of things, that this is going to redefine what metal is now.
Wow, God bless him. Thanks for saying that. Wow, that's amazing.
So now, prefaced with that, how big of a focus is Times of Grace going to be for you? Because you have the other side projects, and I know Adam's got Killswitch Engage, and he's producing so many bands and doing all that.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it pans out. I think, for us, it was just a matter of just getting this thing out, finally getting this record out, and then taking it one step at a time, because in this day and age, who knows what can happen, If we're able to sustain ourselves and, make a living off this, awesome. And so far, it looks like that's going to happen. I'm about a week of being a working man. I finally was able to quit my job and start preparing for tour in February. And there's also talk of, getting over to the UK and Europe for the festivals. So
excellent.
Things are off to a really good start, man. But, one day at a time, for sure.
Is there any chance we'd see you here in the States in any of the two big tours that tour the U.S. this year, or is that maybe next year type of thing?
Where were you, up in Maine? Is that?
Oh, no, I mean Maine, but I mean like in Mayhem. Would we see you on the Mayhem or Warped tour at all? Probably not Warped, but...
Oh, I don't know, man, honestly. I don't know if there's been offers. There's been some talk about Mayhem, but I'm not sure we're going to be doing any festival touring. I think, we're trying to be really careful with every move we make, making sure that it's the right move. And, in this day and age of trying to make a living off music, you got to be really smart with the decisions you make. And festival tours are rough because, they barely pay anything for the most part.
Oh, okay.
We'll see what the offers come through, because we're not 18-year-old kids that can afford to not make money. So.
Oh, I hear you. But yeah, back on to the main thing. Actually, is there any chance we'd see you up here?
Well, there's talk about. Obviously, our first tour doesn't really get up there, but there's talk about trying to do a second U.S. tour and hit some of the places we're not going to be able to hit on this first tour. But again, it all depends on how things pan out. It's a pretty unstable market for music right now, so you got to be really careful.
Yeah, and I guess going off of that, I know unfortunately, like a few days ago, the album leaked online, and I know you were pretty crushed on that one. Do you think that there's any way for bands to avoid that though these days?
No, I think there isn't. And for me, it wasn't even a matter of sort of complaining or anything. To me, it just was a matter of venting. I just felt like I needed to say something, just for the sake of expressing how I felt about it. And people can think what they want about it, but that stuff is going to happen, and I realize that. But when you craft something and you care about it very much, it kind of stinks for somebody to take it and sort of put it all over the place when you're anticipating, sort of rolling out this package to people, especially after anticipating for, about 4 years. Like I wanted it just to come out just so. But again, it happens, man. You can't stop it. You can't stop people from doing that. To me, it was just a little disappointing, that's all.
No, I completely understand. Actually, the responses to I saw your venting on Facebook, and the response was everyone was really supportive, and they were all like, "Oh, I just bought 2 copies," or "I pre-ordered."
Yeah, actually, I did see some of that. And if I could be so bold as to call these people fans, I'm so thankful because my fans are amazing and very supportive of everything I've done.
And onto, I guess I have a couple questions about some songs on the album, or just one song in particular, but your lyrics as a whole on the album, they're very cathartic and very sort of raw emotionally. What influenced your lyrics for this album?
Life, very, very dark patch. I'd go as far as to say I hit rock bottom in my life, and obviously it's when you go through heavy stuff, there are 2 ways you can react. You can sort of throw your arms up and give up and give into the despair, or you start fighting for yourself and start fighting for the people you care about. And
you fight for life.
Yeah.
There's one song title.
Wow. Cue drum roll.
Yeah, I know.
Exactly. So, to me that was important to capture that, and just thankfully I had something creative to work on while I was going through what I was going through. And same with Adam, he was very much in the same position with what he was going through. And I think it's important to document that kind of stuff because everybody goes through struggles. Everyone has their dark times. And the way that you react to it is so important. And I think people need to be reminded, that we all do suffer. But at the end of the day, there's always hope. There's always hope for things to change and for things to get better. You just have to believe in it and have faith that things will work out.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely heard that in the album. Do you have a favorite song for you, or maybe your favorite as far as it was the deepest but most satisfying to write for you?
I think obviously it's really hard to pick a favorite when they're all sort of very close to my heart. But I think the interesting one to point out, and I like to tell this story, is "The End of Eternity," which is the epic of the album. It's the longest song. When that song was conceived by Adam, he didn't really convey to me what he was feeling when he wrote it. He just gave me the music, and I immediately started to write about betrayal and darkness and seduction, and sort of took on almost like an evil persona to write the lyrics. And while I was doing that, Adam was writing from a completely different perspective about, you know, keeping hope alive and sustaining love and all these positive things. So when we got together in the studio, you know, I pulled out my lyrics, he pulled out his lyrics, and showed me his chorus idea, and I was like, whoa, dude, that's completely opposite from what I'm talking about here. But we put the two together and sort of made it a dialogue. It's almost like a story. And, you know, even the vocals that Adam does are sort of the positive, and the vocals that I'm doing in that song are sort of the dark side. So we were able to combine the two, and I just think that speaks volumes of the synergy that we were able to share while writing this record. Even coming from different spectrums of one song, we were able to combine the two to create that song.
Yeah, it gives it a really great contrast. It's really awesome.
Thank you.
And I guess one of my favorite songs right now is Worlds Apart, and I was wondering what that song, where that came from.
You know what? That's one of those songs that Adam had a concept for, and he came with, I want to say, a couple of sentences of the song, like lyrics, and we just worked off of that. And so the idea was loosely just how you can feel separate from people, but, you know, at the end of the day, we're all connected, we're all interconnected. And again, you know, keeping it fairly general with you know, the songs and explanations, because we both talked about it, and we really decided that, you know, it's amazing when people are able to listen to a song and sort of get their own ideas of what it's about and create their own scenario. And oftentimes, you know, what people are able to come up with and relate to are more powerful than anything we could sort of explain to people, like, oh, this song is about this. You know, trying to keep it fairly broad so people can sort of interpret it their own way. You know,
find their own meanings.
So much more powerful, you know, for people to just walk away with their own experience.
Okay, yeah, definitely. So you are touring for all February, and you said maybe some festivals in the UK. Are you guys gonna? I know it's early since the album hasn't even come out yet in stores, but are you planning any other tours right now?
That's it right now. You know, there's obviously talk, but we gotta figure out how to balance all the things. You know, between Adam and his producing and Killswitch, and you know, it's just a matter of what's going to take precedence over what. So it should be interesting to see how it pans out. And the way I feel right now with this record and with everything, I'm willing to do what we're going to do to go the distance. So I'm in it, gung ho. But yeah, we'll see, man. One day at a time.
Yeah, I got it. That's cool. I'm just hoping you guys make it up here.
Yeah, I hope so too, man. I really enjoy Maine. I'm a big fan of the city of Portland.
That's where I'm from, so.
Oh, right on.
So you have other projects, Seamless and The Empire Shall Fall. Is there anything new with them that you're working on? Any tours or albums?
Well, we put Seamless to bed, actually. Seamless ran its course.
Okay.
You know, once Derek joined on Earth and started touring all over, we all just collectively decided that, you know, we put it to bed. But The Empire Shall Fall is still an active band. You know, those guys are working on some new material to send to me so I can have it on tour and start writing. You know, we're going to continue to stay as active as we can, you know, while balancing out times of grace.
But what about the fact, I mean, the fact that now Derek has out of On Earth, is that going to affect anything, or are you still going to keep it?
Yeah, no, Seamless is done.
Okay, fair enough. And could you, I guess I asked you this earlier, but do you think Times of Grace could ever become more for Adam? I mean, I know it's more of a question for Adam, I guess, than Killswitch Engages right now, or?
You know what, man? I could not venture a guess. I will say, though, that, you know, I know this record means a lot to Adam, but, you know, that's a tricky question, man. I wouldn't even want to venture a guess on it, man.
Fair enough. I don't want to make you try to speculate on something like that.
Yeah, careful, man.
So what have you been like? What do you do when you're not recording? You said you just quit your job.
Yeah, thank God. I worked at a medical facility for 4 years now, and man, I'm glad to be done with that job. But I mean, aside from that, to focus on positive, fun things, I really enjoy cooking. I'm a bit of a foodie, a self-proclaimed chef. So I pride myself on making damn good food and having people over. And, I'm a bit of a wino and a beer guy. I really enjoy a good drink. between that and just going out and supporting shows and music, I mean, that's, music is such a huge part of my life. And living, 15 minutes outside of New York City, I'm constantly down there seeing all different kinds of shows, from, hip-hop to metal to hardcore to punk. I just absolutely love New York City, and any chance I get to get down there and hang out, it's usually where I'm at.
Okay. Do you have any major goals for 2011?
Major goals, wow.
I'm hitting you up with all the hard questions.
With the 18th coming up, that's one of my major goals met already, right from the get-go. Having the record come out to me has been my goal for the past 4 years, so it's going to be a huge day, and I definitely plan on celebrating. Other than that, I mean, just getting out there and getting Times of Grace on the road and getting our music out to the world. To me, that's going to be huge. I mean, it's honestly something that I wasn't even sure was ever going to happen. So my cup runneth over, as they say. I'm extremely thankful and excited.
Yeah, I'm excited for you. I mean, I can't wait to hear more from you guys and see you guys live, hopefully.
Yeah, man.
I got to ask some users to submit questions, and rather than submitting questions, they all submitted ultimatums demanding that you go to their various countries. So, I had several demands that you go to the UK, and a couple that you go to Ireland, but I'll leave it at that as far as that goes.
I'd love to go to Ireland. I'd love to explore some of my heritage and drink some Guinness on tap over there. That'd be great.
That would be a fun time indeed.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll be hitting all over the UK, man. If all goes well.
Excellent. And just to throw out an idea, I think second leg US tour with Trivium after they finish recording their album.
Yeah, I don't know. The amount of attention those guys have been giving us, man, maybe that might happen. I guess it's up to them.
I think it would be good for both bands to do it, so
yeah, man.
I'll just throw that idea out here. I'll throw that idea out and I'll send it to Matt and see what he says.
Right on, man. That's awesome.
Cool. Well, thank you very much.
Thanks so much, man. I appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, you have a great day.
All right, you too, bro.